Oh, God, yeah, he'll 1,000,000 times to 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to season 3, episode 2 of the Heels Forever podcast. As always, I am your host, Kenny Edelman. Along with me once again, my co-host Brody James. Brody, how you feeling today?
As always, feeling great, my brother. A nice Sunday night. Feels like a great Sunday night to pod and get into it about a bunch of shit. I seen the lineup you had prepped for us. I knew it was going to be a great episode, so I'll let you get into it. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So just so you guys have a little bit of a heads up, today's episode is going to be a little different. We're going to cover a little bit more stuff than we usually do, just because me and Brody were talking before the show. It was not a very eventful week in wrestling, at least in the WWE aspect that I only watch because I am a WWE mark. But let's get right into it. You know, we kind of discussed this last week with the return of Rhea Ripley. You know, when were they going to have the rematch of Rhea and Liv? Both kind of felt like it was going to happen at SummerSlam. It was confirmed on Monday that we are getting Rhea and Liv, and I am stoked for this match, Brody. I think it has a chance to not only be a great match, but to make Dom the biggest heel in the business.
A bigger version of the biggest heel in the business.
Yes, I definitely can see, something is gonna happen where he's gonna end up screwing Rhea out of that title, and the fucking Rhea marks are gonna come for him. Um,
Of course.
is that how you see it ending, or do you think that they're gonna put the title back on Rhea?
I said it last week. I thought that's how it was going to go. That was my original booking from the beginning. That's my if they were smart booking. Now, what they're gonna do is gonna be a different story. We'll see how, we got 2 weeks, Kenny. Let's see how the build goes. I'll know by like the go home episodes next week where they're gonna go with it. Although they've been pretty good at fucking keeping us on the toes, so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, and honestly, bro, after this last week of wrestling, I cannot wait for the go home episodes because it's just been. I don't want to say they're not doing enough, but at the same time, it's kind of getting stagnant right now. And I get why they're doing it because they want to save that for the go home episodes. But like, fuck, dude, give me something.
There's
Especially,
always that weird, this like that tween period of like, oh, we're not gonna
yeah,
give it to you yet, but like something might pop off here, there. We'll get like you know what we'll get, bro? We'll get like an Instagram live segment this week of one of these feuds popping off at the performance center, or after Raw had taken place, who got thrown through a windshield, shit like that.
yeah. And honestly, dude, the way our luck's been going, it'll probably happen right after this episode because
Yeah.
I don't think Paul realizes how fucking hard he's making it for us podcasters right now when we don't have any new shit to talk about and you're not giving us anything exciting, throughout the week.
He
Especially
knows.
like the next thing I wanted to jump into, we're getting some more TV time for Sheamus, which good for him. I mean, it's been a while since he's really been involved in any kind of storyline. I couldn't tell you the last major PLE he was in. It may have been was it against Gunther at Clash of the Castle when they had that triple threat for the IC title?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's what that's what I think too. And they're starting to put him more and more on TV. But you had this interaction with him and Pete Dunne the last 2 weeks. And Sheamus did pick up the win against Bronson Reed this week. And Pete Dunne came out to kind of save him while his back was turned and blah, blah, blah. But then lo and behold, Pete Dunne decides to attack Sheamus. Now, I don't really care for this storyline. I don't give a fuck where it goes. And if you guys have Sheamus lose to Pete Dunne, you are fucking idiots. So more or
Listen,
less,
bro. I agree with you on this. I want to know what they're doing with Sheamus though, because the guy's come back from injury. He still looks a little off. He's not
Yeah,
in shape. It's
not at
like
all.
so then does he need to go over right now?
Well, I don't necessarily think he needs to go over, but I don't think you need to put Pete Dunne over him either. I don't think it's it's not gonna benefit any.
Shit. All right, no doubt.
And I'm not saying like
I'm just posting on Instagram for everybody. Sorry, I'm rolling.
I'm not saying that, I don't think Pete Dunne is a good wrestler by any means. I think he's great in a tag team with the Brawling Brutes was fantastic. They had a little tag run,
Agreed.
but he's not a singles. He's never going to be a single star. I don't think he could ever really even compete for an IC or a US title, especially with all the star power they have. So why bury Sheamus even further?
I think he's a US title guy.
No way.
No? Why not?
No.
Especially the style. I mean, it brings something different to the division.
Here's my
It's a
thing.
real
Like,
fluffy division.
yeah, but
Especially once your man's gets a hold of the title in fucking 2 weeks. It's gonna
watch
be
your
an
mouth.
ultra fluffy fucking division. I have no doubts.
But here's my thing, and I don't mean to sound like a Vince McMahon kind of guy, but bro, he's too small. It
Ah,
doesn't
I
it
busted
wouldn't
out the early 90s shit.
it
It's too
just wouldn't make
small.
sense. Like, in what world would Pete Dunne beat LA Knight? In what world would Pete Dunne beat Logan Paul? You know what I mean? So for the guys that they have competing for that title, I just don't see it. I think he
I
honestly
mean,
needs
listen, bro,
to
you're right,
find another tag
but
partner, bro.
just wanna make sure everyone knew we were live on Instagram.
No, all
Um,
good. Um,
listen,
and
I think I mean, should they inject him in the next feud for the US title? Probably not. But I mean, the guy's I mean, he was the European champion. He was the UK champion.
laughable, bro.
I laughed. I laughed. Listen, I try and big up the talent. I don't try, I don't want to rip them down too much unless they're like, what did they say? Like a gym rat with the catchphrases trying to be like The Rock. So unless they're like that, then we'll catch him. Then we'll get him.
Bro, let's I had
Can we
this
get
later
into
on the
that
list.
segment,
But yeah, we'll get into that segment really quick because you
bro?
had sent it to me on Friday, and I had a pretty busy weekend of
Yeah.
doing other stuff that I just actually got to watch SmackDown earlier today. And honestly, that was one of my favorite promos I've seen all year. I think not only that promo, but LA Knight also had a promo after that with
Yeah,
Santos
yeah,
Escobar that was really good and put together as well.
absolutely.
But yeah, man, as much as I hate to say it, Logan Paul cooked LA Knight, and he didn't say anything that we haven't heard before.
Just the way
He
he said
just
it though, it was time. It was the timing of like it was weird to see somebody catch him on the mic, which is good, bro. But it's also good for
yeah.
LA Knight too, because it'll make him step his game up even better. Guy's great on the mic. We know that, bro. I break chops, but guy's awesome on the fucking microphone. What I feel like they don't really shine too much light on is his in-ring ability, which I feel like is not bad. He's more of like a five moves of doom kind of guy. He really is. But
Mhm.
that's proven success over time. So how many fucking moves do you really need, bro? How many things you really got to get off in the match that are deemed important enough to fucking, I you know, I like where he's going with it, bro. I break chops, but I hope he gets the
Yeah,
title and I think he'll do good with it.
I agree. And I definitely think he's getting the title. I don't even think it's a question at this point. It just wouldn't make sense. Again, I know I've said this a million times and I've been proven wrong, but it wouldn't make sense to push him into this one and have him lose to Logan. Kind of bouncing off of what you said when he's only a five move guy. I do agree with that. And at the same time, the guy's 40. Like, I'm not expecting him to be in an hour-long match, you know what I mean? So,
No way, bro. But he can go a solid 30 and give you a good fucking
yeah.
match. Like, and give you a great match. I think he's capable of classic shit. I think as he starts getting into the main event role and we start seeing him in more prominent pay-per-views, once
Mhm.
he's starting the main event, SummerSlam and Survivor Series and fucking, things like that. I mean, the experience alone will make him better, and he's already good. So
Yeah, and I think, honestly, after seeing that promo from Friday. I can't wait for the go home because I feel like, obviously when you're in the ring with someone who can put on a promo like LA Knight can, you have to elevate yourself, which Logan Paul has been doing a great job of doing. Um, and I think we said this before, even before the feud was there. Like we wanted this feud because it would push both of them. And I think Logan Paul, I'm sorry, still has the potential to be a fantastic superstar in the WWE. I think he's got all the talent
Agreed.
in the world. He's been working his ass off to get where he's at. Yes, he's only defended the US title, I think, twice in the 300 days he's been champion, but the guy's got other shit going on, which I get it. But he's
Yeah,
been
of course, of course.
I feel like every time he's been in the ring, though, he's been elevated, he's gotten better. So, I'm very much looking forward to this match at SummerSlam. And if I'm being honest, I was looking at tickets today, and this match alone is the reason why I want to be in attendance for this. Because I'm like, dude, they have the potential to bring the fucking house down.
Yeah, they do. And I hope they open the card. I hope they open SummerSlam, dude. I like that would be that's exactly where that match belongs.
Yeah.
It's the lesser of the 3 titles being defended per se, you know what I'm saying? Like it is. It's the lesser of the 3 titles, and I think that it's a great way to open the event in itself because it's like you open SummerSlam with this guy holding the US title and fucking Logan Paul all salty, sitting next to the Prime logo, holding his ribs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see it all now, bro. I could see it. That's a great way to open SummerSlam.
Yeah, I would not be mad about that as the opening, especially because, when you look at the other matches on this card, I feel like the others are a little bit more, I don't want to say more important, but they have much bigger stories that have been going on. Yeah, we've kind of been getting LA Knight and Logan Paul for what, 2 months now as far as the back and forth goes. I think even before Money in the Bank.
Slow
But
build though, which was good. I don't
yeah.
think they've given too much away at all. They haven't really been in the ring together at all, which is why what did I say? I want to say it was like many episodes ago, maybe like middle of season 2. Like there was something we were talking about where we felt that they shouldn't even should be there should be no communication in the ring, like physically at all, until this happens. And that's
Yeah,
what I think
and
we got here. That's why it worked.
I like that, they did have them in the triple threat qualifier for Money in the Bank, but I do like that there was that other element in Santos Escobar, so it wasn't us getting LA Knight and Logan Paul one-on-one beforehand. So I think they've played this one out perfectly as far as everything goes, but all the others have much bigger storylines to me that should be later in the card. So I absolutely agree with this being the opener. I think it would be fantastic, and if they don't, I think it's a bad call.
I mean, I'll give me Liv and Rhea to open the card too. Give me Liv and Rhea to open the card too. I like that. That's also juicy cinema early in the night.
But see, here's my thing, dude. I would book Rhea and Liv to be the main event.
After Cody and Solo,
Yeah,
if they were smart, Kenny.
yeah.
If they that's
Well,
how it would have played out if this was 98 again. That they would have been because this would have been the hot news. Like you know what I'm saying? I could yeah, if they were smart, but you can't disrespect Cody Rhodes like that.
well, and that's what I was just about to say. As soon as the words left my mouth, I'm like, we know fucking Roman's coming back, and there's no way he pops out and then they have a match after that. That's going to be the send off, 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
SummerSlam ends. The God
yeah,
body is back.
yeah. Well,
All
who gives a
all's
fuck,
right
bro?
with the world again. All's right again. Wrestling's entertaining again.
Honestly, dude, I'm okay with him being gone. And I don't
I know.
hate the guy. Like, I was just over the title run and, it no matter what fucking happened, this dude was the champion, and I'm like, "Okay, we get it. You wanna build this dude up to be the best ever. He's already past that point. Let's do something else." Um, but let's get into the Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes. I know I had this a little later and I'm jumping around, so I do apologize for that, Brody. Um, but I kinda wanted to touch base on this because you had sent me a tweet the other day. Um, I believe it was from Elite Rockers, correct?
Yes.
Can you
Yes, I'll
throw
pull
that
it up.
up on the?
Of course, of course.
So this is from Elite Rockers, another wrestling uh, media, I guess you could say. Basically, he says, "I won't lie. I've enjoyed Damian Priest's World Heavyweight Championship title run more than Cody's undisputed title run. Props to Priest. He's really proven everyone wrong. His promos and in-ring work have improved so much. The way he has carried himself since winning the title at Mania deserves praise." Now, Brody, you can attest to this. As soon as you had sent this to me, my immediate response was, "That's like appreciating broken glass on your nuts instead of a mousetrap." Because to me, both have been very lackluster. But the one thing I will say is I don't put the blame on Cody Rhodes having the lackluster run as much as I do Damian, because we've kind of gotten into this multiple times where, first of all, SmackDown's only a 2-hour show. There's only so
Correct.
much you can do compared to the 3-hour show that Raw has. I mean, when you take into account the commercials and everything, you probably get an hour and a half on SmackDown. Um, they don't have the talent pool, in my opinion, compared to Raw. I think Raw's roster is stacked as far as superstars go, where I think
I agree.
SmackDown lacks a little. Um, Now, to touch base on where Elite Rockers said that Damian Priest's mic work has gotten better, what fucking show are you watching, bro? Because every time that dude talks on a mic, sounds like he's reading from a script. You know what I mean? Like Austin Theory had this problem when he first came out. Like it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like you're
Yeah, yeah.
saying what they told you to say. Um, and to me, his in-ring work hasn't gotten any better. I think he's a very stiff guy. Might be partly because he's so tall. He's got that weird "my legs don't bend right" kind of thing going. Um,
Fuck,
but
bro.
but it's
Woo!
like to
Real heel
me,
shit, bro. I gotta get a
yeah.
heel horn going every time we say foul shit.
Like to me though, I I am hoping they take this title off of Damian. And I hate Gunther, but
Damn,
it,
Kenny's on
it's
a roll
not
tonight.
it's not been a good run to me. And I may be in the minority by saying that. And I understand, it makes sense for him to have the championship because the Judgment Day is so involved on Raw right now. Um, but I think this is the breaking point. I think SummerSlam is the breaking point for Judgment Day, and I think it makes sense to drop that belt because it's not working out. Like, yeah, honestly, what I think happened is I think the fans kind of backed WWE into a corner because when we said we wanted Cody and Roman again, they kind of were like, "Fuck, what do we do with Rollins?" And what do we do with
True,
Drew? So I think
true.
they picked Damian because he, 1, had Money in the Bank, and 2, because there was no one else to fucking pick at the time.
Yeah. Punk was hurt. Rollins was hurt.
Drew
Yeah.
Drew's
Yeah,
never
well. I'm not
he's
really a
never
big fan of Drew having any kind of big
yeah,
championship. Guy had the
me
championship
either.
last time. It was a snooze fest. Not really
Well,
for it, bro.
the one thing I will say about that though, yes, it was a snooze fest, but there was also no fans, bro.
Mm, I don't know, bro. The guy don't do it for me. Like when his promos don't do it for me.
Yeah.
I think
I
he's
can
better
I
at tweeting.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. Especially as of late, his promos have not done well, at least in my eyes. And it's like, bro, are you a heel? Like you can't toe that in between because the fans don't know how to react to you. Like you're doing
Yeah,
heel shit, but you want to be a face. Like, you can't
he
have
does
it
want to be
both
a face. You
ways.
could see it. Like
Oh, he wants to
he wants
so
the
bad.
reverence. He wants the crowd. The guy wants oh my god. I mean, I
Yeah,
get it. Everyone does, but like, bro, play the part, dude.
yeah, especially like once you get dropped by CM on at SummerSlam, like you're moving to the back of the line because this is all just going to build back up to us getting Seth and Punk at Summer or at WrestleMania, right?
I would hope so. I would hope this Drew and CM Punk business is finished by like Survivor Series.
Bro, to be honest, I hope it's over after SummerSlam.
Really? No, give me 3 more months of this.
Yeah.
I'll take this at Bad Blood. Let us hold this over until fucking Survivor Series. So what is Punk gonna do till Survivor Series? What is Drew gonna do?
I don't give a fuck what Drew
But
does. I don't
then
give a fuck what
but then
CM
they
Punk
have no
does. But bro,
feud.
I can only read so many fucking tweets back and forth about how you guys are gonna beat the shit out of each other, and then when you get on the mic, it's so fucking boring. Like
Well,
anything
Drew's boring.
McIntyre's exactly. That's what I'm
I was
saying.
gonna
Like
say
move on from
Punk
him.
is
Get I love Punk on the
his
mic. I've
promos hit, bro. His promos
yeah.
hit like a motherfucker. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't I could be cool with not seeing Drew again until the Royal Rumble after Summer.
Damn. Oh, bro, send them to TNA at this point.
I wouldn't be mad about that either.
Fuck, bro. And he's on a roll tonight. We're just exiling everybody. We haven't even gotten to the broads yet. This is gonna be good.
Yeah. Actually looking at the breakdown, I did kind of forget something. So let's just jump into this while we're
Let's
talking
go.
on the topic. Tiffany Stratton. I I'm gonna
Kenny and
make a
Tiffany
bold
Stratton.
prediction. I know we were supposed to save our hot takes for later, but I'll think of something else for this. Um, I think Tiffany Stratton is leaving SummerSlam as the champion
I hope so. That's a good take, Kenny. It's a great hot take.
because I can see, I think Bailey's gonna pick up the win on Nia, but I also think that they're gonna play the Bailey's been pushed to the absolute fucking limit, and then that music's gonna hit as she's basically near death in the ring, and I think
Yeah, of
Tiffany
course, of
picks up an
course.
easy W.
Makes sense. I like it. I like it. They're
Um,
not letting Bailey do shit anyway. They don't even have her on fucking TV every week with the title. They have her like chicks on vacation, bro. She's out fucking eating ice cream somewhere. I see her on the gram. She's not it. Like they didn't even fucking heading into Mania. She wasn't on a poster, on a flyer. She was disrespected the whole way to WrestleMania. Had a great match.
yeah.
Fucking awesome match. Then
Well,
boom, goes away again.
and
The fuck, bro?
that kind of makes me feel like the same way I did about Priest with Bailey. It's almost like they didn't
Very
know who to give the
lackluster,
title
bro.
to, so they just kind of put it on her until they were like, "Let's wait until we can figure out something else." And I think, after SummerSlam, because I don't see them giving the title to Nia at all. Like that doesn't move the needle for me.
Nah, I mean, I could see it, but I don't think it would be like wise.
Yeah.
It would be an obstacle for Tiffany Stratton to have to overcome when she does have to cash in. If they were gonna play that angle, it'd have to be that. They'd be like, shit, she gotta cash in on fucking Nia, bro. So who's gonna put Nia in the position where she's on her back, fucking looking at the lights when Tiffany's music got to hit? That's
That
how
could
I think
actually that could actually make sense too, especially because, you've had so many interactions between Nia and Tiffany over the last 2
yeah,
weeks.
that's what I'm
Um,
saying.
kind of buddying it up right now, but I don't know, man. Nia having the title, even her last title run for me, I mean, she's gotten a lot better since then, but
I think her return, I think she's been top notch since she's returned.
oh yeah.
In
Yeah,
ring
100%.
and out of ring, in ring and promo wise, and like character development, I think she's done good with.
Yeah, and I will agree with that too. And maybe I just have like the last time that she was here before she left due to injury, how bad she was, and I just can't get over that hump, I
Yeah, of
guess.
course, bro. She was hurting, bro.
Bro, and that was like especially you guys know me. I'm like, yo, you are gonna fucking kill somebody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm glad she got it cleaned up. I guess I wouldn't necessarily be mad about her having a little bit of a run as long as she keeps it at the level she's been at. If you see her start to regress or anything like that, get that fucking title off of her before she kills somebody.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree on that.
Um, kind of backtracking a little bit on the rundown, Brody. There was something that you called out last episode that I didn't even see. I completely missed it. The Creed brothers, as you had said, Gable was in the background talking with the Creed brothers. They ended up coming out on Raw and helping Gable against
Nice.
Bo,
Yeah, I seen
which was
that.
a great segment, which led into more of the Wyatt Six, them showing up in the ring, and Everything about this, bro, I don't know what it is, but I fucking feed off of it. I don't know
It's
if
a
it's
great
because
feud, bro.
it's
It's a great pairing of all of them, and I think it's gonna. I love that they chose Chad Gable. I'm happy
yeah.
that the Wyatt Six didn't go after fucking like Drew McIntyre or CM Punk. I'm happy they didn't shoot that far up the ladder with
Yeah.
with what they're gonna do. I think that the people that are in the Wyatt Six, I think those are B level talents from the past, some C level talents from the past that
Mm,
have a chance to rebrand and rebuild. And I think that not sending them up the fucking ladder was a brilliant idea by Triple H. I think them and Chad Gable, maybe they move on to Sami Zayn next. That's a great guy to play mind games with because he's so easily fucked up. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you move up the ladder like that. Like
yeah.
yeah, I think that'd be a smart way to go about them.
I'm with that too, and if they did go Sammy, I think that would be great for Bo.
Of
Because
course,
we've said this a million times, like, Sammy is notorious for elevating everyone else in those
correct.
matches, so
Yeah.
I think it'll make him look probably a lot better than he is. We haven't seen him in ring since he has been gone, so maybe who the fuck knows? Maybe he's been in
Let
the
me tell you this,
performance
bro.
center.
Before he left, Bo Dallas was not bad in the ring. I never
No.
thought like I mean he had a shitty gimmick that he worked like a motherfucker and actually got over with it because
Mhm,
he was
yeah,
so fucking good at it.
fucking B
But
team was lit, bro.
yeah, but the in-ring work from him, like you can always tell wrestling was in his blood. Like the guy's not
Yeah.
out there like, he's fluid. He's not like a stranger coming to the ring. So I think them adapting some new moves with this character and like some new cadence and how he wants to move around the ring and kind of similar to how Bray Wyatt did shit. Timing, if he can get all that
Mhm.
shit down, I think this is gonna be the next 5-6 years gonna be fucking amazing with this character and this faction.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And, you know, kind of bumping off of Bray Wyatt, like the promo, I guess you could kind of call it a promo that he had in ring with the Creed brothers and uh Chad Gable. Sorry, I don't know why my brain just went blank. Um you could definitely, like, I saw Bray in that
Me
promo.
too.
Like, it was one of the best I've seen from Bo probably in his career. So you can tell that, he's actually been taking the time and putting in the work. So I think, I'm with you there. I think it's gonna be a
Oh yeah.
great run for these guys as long as WWE doesn't fuck it up. Having that,
Right.
like, don't have him lose to fucking Goldberg in Saudi Arabia in 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
That was real Vince shit. And I guarantee you it's because Bray Wyatt probably said something stupid about having to face Goldberg to begin with.
mhm.
Vince was like, all right, pal. All right. Spear and jackhammer.
Yeah, like you build up this whole fucking enigma and then you're like, "Yeah, let's have Goldberg beat him."
Yeah, because we need Goldberg Lesnar at Mania. Like we didn't like that fucking 40 seconds in fucking Survivor Series wasn't enough. You have to torture us with a Mania match.
Yeah, was not good.
Miserable.
Let's get into something else really quickly. So we had Jake Paul beating Mike Perry by TKO. Then after the
So good.
fight, he not only called out Mike Tyson, but he also called out Alex Pereira.
All right, listen. What I'm not gonna do is let this little bastard get away with calling out Mike Tyson in the geriatric home. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You had to call out Pereira after that because I mean, bro, really? That was the first thing you wanted to say, like, oh, Mike Tyson. What? This guy couldn't make a flight, bro. Guy was his blood pressure was high, bro. It's Mike Tyson, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, bro. I don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him in the street. You know what I'm
Fuck
saying?
no.
But at the end of the day, Kenny, like this is who you're calling out, bro. 28 years old, prime of your life, calling out the geriatric center, bro. So good he called out Alex Pereira after because that makes more sense.
Bro, when I saw that, I wondered if he had a death wish because in no way, shape, or form do I think he even is awake leaving the ring with Alex Pereira.
I don't think so either. I don't. This is the. You know why? Because the guys that he's beaten from the UFC, like former champions, I mean, they're small mans. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
beating 170 guys. Mike Perry, Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren, Nate Diaz, they're all 170 division in the
Yeah,
UFC. They walk around 185. This kid walks around 220.
all juiced
And
up.
now he's juiced up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I seen him, for the match. I said, oh, bro. I knew he was trying to get big for Tyson. I knew he was trying because he knew those body shots,
Mm-hmm.
bro. He knew those body shots were fucking coming. He's, oh, bro, let me just like get some padding for myself here so I can, last for like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I would honestly probably be doing the same thing if I was in his position. So I don't really blame him there. But you're right. Looking back at who he's fought, especially like Ben Askren, like a guy that's known for wrestling, and you're like, oh, I beat him in a boxing match. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude? And the
Saying,
only
bro, yeah, that's not it.
the only like legit boxer that he's faced in
Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, you lost.
He did lose.
You fucking lost. And now you want to call out a guy who's would probably break you in half.
Oh, bro. I'd love to see him try and go into MMA with Pereira.
See, that's what I want to happen. I want him to fucking
That's
put
what I
up or
want.
shut up, run it
These
back.
these
Even
bro,
like give
these
me
guys
Jake
ain't
Paul and
going into
Nate
MMA.
Diaz in an octagon.
He offered Nate $10 million to do that. PFL offered Nate Diaz $10 million to do that. He said he would have done it. Jake Paul still has an MMA contract signed with PFL. He has to do an MMA match this year. But
So why
between
is it
now
not
and
happening?
next year, yeah. I don't know because he had the Tyson thing set up. So I think he was gonna go Tyson, then finally do his PFL fight.
That's gonna be bad news for him, bro.
I know. I
Bad
don't know
fucking
though. I
news.
don't know though. When you train, Kenny, you train. Like, you know what I'm saying? The guys, it's not that he's not putting in the work. It's just weird to see that it's him doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, he's
Well,
putting in the work. He's putting in the training and shit. I mean, it shows when he's in the ring, like every time shows. He's active too. He takes fights every 3, 4, 5 months. He's not waiting around.
yeah,
I give
and
him that.
I don't think, I'm not trying to say that he's not putting in the work or anything like that, but at the same time, it's Nate fucking Diaz in an octagon.
I know, bro. I understand.
Like, that's not a
It's gonna be a good
boxing
one.
match, bro. You're gonna take
No,
one
no.
shot to the fucking thigh and you're gonna be like, I fucked up.
I'd love to see it though. You take my money.
Oh
Take
yeah,
my money. Wing, wing. Oh yeah.
1000%. Um, other breaking news that I don't know if it's really breaking news because you don't seem to care about it, Brody. Bobby Lashley was removed from the internal roster of WWE today. Now I know, he's
Well,
he hasn't been what we kind of were expecting when he came back. He's not good on the mic, but at the same time, I like the angle that he was in with the faction of Street Profits.
I do like that too. I
I
enjoyed
think
that.
it was a perfect kind of a thing to remove him. Like I know, he's been out for injury. I don't know if it was a real injury or a scripted injury, but I think you should have kept him running that back because I think you had the ability in the what I like to call right now a new faction era to make another high time faction.
I think so too. We're slowly back in 97, Kenny. Slowly
Mhm.
back in 1997. Just like you said, in like faction fucking heaven. Back then you had the Nation, you had
Mhm.
DX, you had the Disciples, you had the Disciples of Apocalypse, you had the APA at one point. What other factions did we have, bro? Wasn't there like the headbangers and all them, the skin that you
Yep.
had like yeah, 8 Ball and all them, you had the skinheads. Yeah, you have the
Yeah, I think
skinheads, you have the
at one
Nation.
point in time, like everyone was in a fucking faction.
Yeah, correct,
Like
correct.
the entire
Yeah, yeah.
roster was just built on factions, which is great. I love it. I love when you
Good
get those
times, good
factions.
era.
And I think, especially with these shorter shows, like it gives more opportunity for guys and girls. So, if you guys want to keep building factions, I'm all for it. Give me
Yeah,
as many as you
100%.
can pump out. As long as, we're still getting quality storylines, I am perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, and I think when you have so much talent on the roster like this, I think to get the stars that you need, you kinda have to have them, like how it used to be,
Mhm.
where someone would rise out of the faction, would be the guy that goes for the singles title and then onto the bigger one. Like, I think that's a great way to get, some stars out of all of this too, kinda see who's gonna rise to the top.
I'm with that as well, and, especially because, just like you had said, when you get that top guy that's going after the either the IC or the US or the heavyweight, but then you get the other two going for the tag team titles, and it just kind of builds,
Yes.
it's more
Yes.
story, more action, a lot more people getting a little bit of that spotlight, and I think that's exactly what they need moving forward. Maybe we see even more of it once they get into Netflix and they don't really have time constraints and things like that. So, we'll
I
see
mean,
what's down the
I
road,
would
but
much rather for when they get to Netflix, bro, I would much rather don't give me 3 hours of Raw on Monday night. Give me an hour on Monday, give me an hour on Wednesday, give me an hour or 2 on Friday. That's it.
nah, nah, nah,
Roll,
nah.
roll. Or maybe 2, 1, 2.
Bro,
I'm
we
saying
don't have that kind of time.
2
Like,
hours on
well
Monday? I'd take the 2 rather than the 3, like you said, without the commercials and all that. I feel like it's a better watch.
yeah, but if you do, like, I don't know, man. Feel like give me 3 straight hours, no commercial interruptions.
No,
I
I
would
mean, like,
take
Raw
that.
2 hours, NXT an hour, and then fucking SmackDown 2 hours.
I I would keep SmackDown and NXT like you said, but I would still go the 3 straight hours
Really?
on of Raw. Yeah, because, bro, they got too much
With
talent
or
as it
without
is,
commercials?
with no commercials.
With no co 3 hours with no commercials?
This is Netflix, bro. I don't pay for ads.
No, I understand it's not even about the ads, bro. I'm just
There
talking
better
about for,
not be
like,
any fucking commercials.
talking about for fucking what you never know, bro. With doing shit like this, it's definitely coming, bro. Like, there's commercials on Amazon now, on Prime, like, they just
Yeah, but you could pay
shloid them in there.
for the extra. Pay extra, no commercials.
Yeah, $6.99, whatever the fuck it's gonna be, but yeah.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
and
Times.
even they could set something up too where maybe they do still show commercials, but you can if you pay for the no commercials, give us the dark matches. So you can see those other people who aren't necessarily making it on TV.
Okay. I like that. Or just give us, like you said, bro, give me Sunday Night Heat again.
That
I
too.
think that.
I'm all for Sunday night. Even like Velocity, do you remember that shit?
Yeah, of course, bro, of course. It
Oh,
has Saturday Night Main Event. I'd take Saturday Night Main Event.
yeah. Let's
I'd
put in
take
a
a Saturday.
petition too. I want to start a petition to bring back WWF New York.
I know Kenny really wanted to go to
I wanted to
that.
go to that so bad,
It
dude.
was
Like
dope, bro. It was amazing.
I
Well,
remember
let's get the
watching
pod where it should be, and then we'll open up fucking, a WWF New York for you, bro.
let's yeah, we got to because I
Yeah.
remember watching like Sunday Night Heat.
We'll tell them to open it up again.
It just always looks so fantastic. Um, let's talk about something else. This is a little bit off topic. This is even further off topic than we usually go. But for those of you watching, if you haven't heard, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race. Probably a
Oh,
good idea. I mean, the dude's 100
we've
years old as
infected
it
the pod.
is.
We've
And
infected the pod with politics.
I'm
It's
pretty sure he
okay.
just got COVID. So, we were kind of talking about this before we went live. If this pretty much locks Trump up, right? There's no way. I don't even think I couldn't see the Dems voting for Kamala Harris.
I went to the Dems voted for Kamala Harris. I don't know, bro. I have no idea. I mean, yeah, I'm sure, bro. I think when this guy, I think when they tried to fucking Goodfellas, this guy over in Pennsylvania, I think that was the start. They call that a bullet bump. There's like shows and shit that I've watched that like I see them do that, like, on fucking, not Scandal per se, but like other shows like that, like where
Mhm,
someone gets shot or like a family member gets shot. It fucking brings in support for you and remorse and all the shit you need for people to go vote for you. And like, I thought when he got shot 2 weeks ago or last week, I thought that was it. I was like, oh damn. I was like, that was almost like the Dems doing COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like they had their thing to do. Like this guy did his thing, and now it'll go down in history, bro. Like our grandkids will be like covering the Trump assassination attempt the way we cover like fucking Reagan and all them, you know, and JFK and all this kind of shit. So I guess it is
Yeah.
what it is, dude. Just give us some fucking let us live, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever's listening, whoever's like gonna be in charge of things going forward, whoever gets elected president, just like let us live, bro. We're
Yeah.
tired. Like the people are tired with your bullshit. You know what I mean? Let us live and eat and whatever on the sweat of our own fucking brow and leave us the fuck alone. And enough of
Yeah.
this bullshit with the media and oh Jesus.
And bring them prices down, fam, because I'm tired of spending $8 for a carton of eggs.
There you go, bro. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
All
But
right.
yeah, that's my
So
piece on this.
yeah, I don't want to get too politicky. It was just some breaking news that we had come across right before the show started. So we thought, we'd keep you guys informed. Um, so because there wasn't a lot going on this week in wrestling, not even really enough to put together a whole show. Thanks a lot, Paul. I wanted to kind of
So
I
it'd been a
wanted to
good
kind of
episode to
go
bring in like the New Japan shit and like the TNA. There's actually some cool. Well, all right, let's get into it. Hold that thought 1 second, Kenny.
okay.
I'm gonna bring in something that I did see from another promotion. Not the one that we don't like to talk about. Different one that's like in conjunction with WWE. They're working together now.
Okay.
Nick Nemeth won the TNA championship yesterday.
Really?
Yes. So I thought that was actually pretty chill because I've been waiting for that motherfucker to get a belt, around here on the indies and whatever the fuck he's been floating around doing. But
Mhm.
shout out to fucking Dolph Ziggler winning the TNA championship yesterday, getting the
Hell
belt on him.
yeah.
I thought that was good, and I thought that was good for them too. And now what I think of is like this. We have this situation where we're getting all this Forbidden Door talk, and WWE superstars are gonna go to TNA, and we might get some invasion type angles and shit like that, which I hope they do so well. I'd like to see, maybe AJ Styles go over back to TNA,
Mhm.
where he was birthed and founded, and that would be a mint match. AJ Styles and fucking Dolph Ziggler, bro, Nick Nemeth, like for the TNA championship. I think that would be heat rocks. And I think it'd be a
Yeah.
great main event to help propel TNA a little bit further. You let Drew go back over there. You let was Kevin Owens in them over there? Was that Ring of Honor?
I think that was Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, him and Sami Zayn, yeah, Ring of Honor. But I
Yeah.
know Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, a few of them I feel like were over in TNA, and I think to send them back over there, pay a little homage.
Mhm.
The women's division in TNA is actually pretty good too. They had a few of the girls in the Rumble
Yep.
this year that were flexing, that were actually good. They weren't Botch City, so shout
Yeah,
out
and
to
that's
them. Shout out to TNA doing some things.
I was actually kind of gonna go off that point you just made, Brody, where since we have seen some of the women, we saw them in the Royal Rumble. Could you imagine Dolph Ziggler entering the Royal Rumble as the TNA champion? Shout out
Yeah,
to while we're talking about my boy Dolph. Shout out Dolph, Ohio boy. Let's go. Another Ohio kid with the championship. I'm here for it. But yeah, man, I am perfectly okay with the forbidden doors being open. I think it's about time that we've gotten to this point. Now, as I've said before, I don't want to see any kind of AEW trash in a WWE ring whatsoever. I feel like
AEW trash. Wow,
that's a
Kenny
giant
shit.
mistake. But,
Kenny likes
to
the
bring
bros
in
more than he likes AEW for sure.
facts, big facts. But, it would be nice to see, some New Japan guys in WWE that I don't get to see regularly. Even some TNA guys being brought in, but also, like you said, having AJ Styles go back to TNA for a run or even just a match because AJ Styles was a fucking god in
You know what I'm
TNA
saying? That's what I'm
before
saying,
he
bro. It'd be
before he
awesome.
came over. So I think
Fuck
that
yeah.
works out perfectly. Um, yeah, man, I'm for it. The wheels are turning now, and I'm just like, how many dream matches can you get out of this? Because there's a lot.
I think that there's a few guys over there in TNA that we could get a proper invasion angle. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I want like WWE superstars going over there to do an invasion angle. I'd rather it be like NXT versus TNA. Like give me
Yeah.
NXT, the top NXT guys, let them go over there and feud with TNA and get them rolling. I think that would be a way more realistic. I mean, to have like, I mean, listen, Roman ain't going to TNA, all these Cody and all them like that'd be like it's slaughter. It's like not even
Yeah.
funny. So give me, the NXT guys, or give me like led by a few of them led by one of these WWE guys. Like maybe AJ Styles builds a faction to go face TNA. Like, I'm saying, he grabs
Mhm.
a veteran, an NXT guy, a scrub. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be dope.
Yeah, and they've already kind of been doing that a little, Brody. I know we don't really watch NXT a lot, but that TNA, the girl from TNA who was in the Rumble, I think she's like their TV
Jordan
champion
Grace.
or yeah, Jordan Grace.
Yeah, Jordan
She's
Grace.
she's been on NXT a couple times. I
Yes.
think she was in the, if I'm not mistaken, she was in the North American Championship ladder match as well. So they are kind of making it more of an NXT TNA kind of a thing. And I think that would be
Nice.
perfect because, you have a lot of those younger people that not a lot of us have our eyes on all the time because they don't promote NXT as much as they do Raw and SmackDown for one. And for two, I just don't have enough time to watch 3 nights of wrestling in a week. Like it's too much for me, bro. As much as I love it, I can't really do that. So, I mean, if they start that angle with TNA, it would definitely kind of entice me to tune in more than I do.
Yeah, and I think it should be a Wednesday night thing. Like I said, I liked I liked when Raw was an hour when I was growing up. I won't lie to you. I did enjoy that. I know it's too much talent, Kenny. I get it. Yeah, yeah. But like for the main event guys, like, I feel like that it would highlight it a lot more. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
feuds, they got more shine, they got more attention. They weren't broken up in between everything else. Like that's why I said the solid 2 hours with no commercials is heat rocks. I feel like you get time in, you get the thing. We'll see. Let's see what they do, Ken. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, I'm
We
sure they're
got
gonna play around
4 months.
with for a
Yeah,
little while, especially off the rip. Maybe we'll get a couple episodes that are 3, and they may say, "Hey, let's cut it back a little bit."
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I know we're still so far away, but I'm ready for Netflix. I feel
me
like it
too.
is gonna be Attitude Era 2.0. So very excited to see where they go with it from there. Um, let's get back into WWE real quick though. We got SummerSlam coming up. Looks like we're actually gonna have enough content to kind of hit our mark of where we're usually at. So go us making something out of fucking nothing here. Thanks again, Paul.
Facts.
Let's get into the SummerSlam matches that we have so far. As of right now, we have Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. Kind of going off our hot takes from last week, we both kind of feel like Solo is taking that title. At least I still do. I haven't really gotten your thoughts on it this week. Do you still feel the same way, or do you think Cody's going to win?
I just think it makes more sense for him to do that. I think him having that belt for this feud with Roman will be mint. Because if we're gonna get him and Rock at WrestleMania, Roman and Rock at WrestleMania, like when does this solo feud peak? Survivor Series?
I would think so.
So then, yeah, I would say let him get the belt, let him do his thing. Unless because here's the thing, bro. What are we gonna get? When are we gonna get the trilogy between Cody and Roman? Mania 42.
I don't know that we ever do.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? We should get the trilogy. He deserves to get his lick back.
Yeah, I agree. But
100%.
like I said, I think they kind of backed themselves into a corner when so many people were upset about Cody not getting Roman, and now it's kind of changing the dynamic and changing everything they need to do to get back to where they want to be.
I could see that.
So I think they're still trying to get their feet underneath of them and figure out how they can make the next move. But honestly, bro, even if let's say Solo wins the title, I don't think you see Solo and Roman until the Royal Rumble. I think you get a
Interesting.
I think you would get a Bloodline versus Bloodline at Survivor Series, 3-on-3 action. Maybe,
Yeah, of
Roman
course.
and the Usos and then Solo and the B Squad guys. Um,
Gotcha.
so yeah,
The
man, that's
Beast.
kinda how I feel about that. I still think it doesn't make sense in the grand aspect for Cody to win, especially because, like, it's been very uneventful. I think you'd get, more excitement out of having Solo win. So, uh that's kind of where I'm leaving that one at. Next, we have the World Heavyweight Championship, the Raw side, for those of you that don't really know. Damian Priest going up against what he's now been being dubbed as the King General, Gunther. He won the King of the Ring, which locked him into this match against Priest for the
Fucking
title.
trash. Nah, he's all right. I don't mind Gunther.
Honestly, the last couple of weeks, I've really enjoyed him. I think the promos that he's had have been really good. And like I said earlier, man, I think this is the perfect opportunity to kind of hit that reset button on both your champions. I think Gunther wins this one.
I hope so. I do. I hope so.
Then we kind of already touched on this one, but we have Bailey and Nia Jax for the Women's World Championship. I don't know how you feel about this. I feel like it doesn't matter which one of these two win. I think Tiffany Stratton is leaving Cleveland with the strap.
Nice. I hope so too. Another good prediction, Kenny. Another good prediction.
Then after that, we have the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan, who is the champion, versus the
Match of
returning
the
Rhea
night.
Ripley. Match of the night. I said this earlier in the show. I think this should be the main event. I do think Liv Morgan picks up the victory because I think Dom is gonna fuck some shit up and just turn
Of
into a
course.
nuclear heel.
Of course.
And then another one that has the potential to be match of the night too, United States Championship, Logan Paul versus LA Knight. I don't even think you need to know my opinion on this one because I've had this locked in since they started going back and forth. I think LA Knight runs away with this one. I think it's going to be a great match, but I think LA Knight picks up the win.
Guy's not getting the belt, bro. Fast out, bro. Guy's not getting the belt. We're gonna be sitting here doing the stream again, almost a year later to the date, and Kenny's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Another missed opportunity by LA Trash Knight on getting another singles title.
Yeah, I would be pretty pissed off if he doesn't win. I think it would be a huge mistake. You can't bury the guy in 3 title matches in less than a year. Like that just
Yeah,
doesn't make
bro.
sense. And then we have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. We touched on this a little bit earlier in the show as well. I think CM Punk's gonna win. I feel like, at this point we can kind of bury this little rivalry, if you even want to call it that. I'm over it already. I think, it's great on Twitter, not so great in translating on to the screen, especially for Drew McIntyre. So I think Punk takes up the win. How do you feel about it, Brody?
I think I've enjoyed this feud as long as they've had it, but I am in agreement with, you know, if it's not going to be a Mania thing, okay, it's a SummerSlam type feud, that's fine. Then all right, then maybe we leave it after SummerSlam. My whole thing is like I don't know where Punk goes after this. Like, cause Rollins is so far away.
Mm,
Rollins
is
is
he
like
though?
we're talking like okay, what was 8 months? It's a long time, cousin.
Wait, what do you mean 8 months?
To get to Rollins at Mania, that's 8 months away. For
I
CM
mean,
Punk.
I don't necessarily think it has to happen at WrestleMania. I think, the plan that
Oh,
they had for WrestleMania last year that got fucked up from injury. I could easily see this being, you know what though too, is they could kind of play it off and have CM Punk and Rollins the face to face in the Royal Rumble match. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah, of
kind of build
course.
off of that into WrestleMania. So I mean, that still makes sense to me. I just and
5
you could
months, not
even
bad.
yeah, and you can kind of throw Punk into a couple little small meaningless storylines into Survivor Series just to kind of, fill that void. So it's not necessarily out of the question that they kind of move on from this, but at the same time, I mean, they're all about the social media now, which I get it, but let's cover one thing too that we completely skipped over until just now. Get rid of the fucking speed championship. Like
I love
you
that
don't
he
have
went
the
right to
fucking
the state championship.
you don't have the champion even wearing the belt on Raw or SmackDown. Yes, I get that it's a different like show. Can you even call it a show? It's 2 minute, 3 minute matches.
It
Like,
is a show, it is a broadcast, it is programming, and it is broadcasted on X. Like it is scheduled programming like that.
but
And it
why are
gets
you
decent
not?
amount of views too. It's crazy.
But why are you not advertising that belt on your bigger
Because
shows
it's
where you're getting
hideous.
more of an audience? Well, I know, and that's their own fucking fault for
That's
not
why,
picking
because
up
it's
a better.
hideous. But they could have done better by that belt, 100%. At least give me the old
Yeah.
like cruiserweight or something like, I mean,
Oh,
not
bro.
the old cruiserweight. I mean the old cruiserweight.
Yeah, the
The
last one was
hardcore
whack
the
too.
yeah, the fucking whatever, the one that Jeff Hardy had at one time. Fucking,
Yeah.
remember they had the
Uh,
light heavyweight championship at one point too? That was crazy.
yeah, I wanted to be the light heavyweight champion so bad. I was like, it fits in my weight class. Like, I was like 12 years old. I'm like, yeah, I could fucking win that thing. I probably still could.
I love
Um,
it.
Speaking of the old school titles, we got to talk about the IC triple threat match at SummerSlam. We haven't even gotten
Of
into this
course.
yet on the show, which are bad for skipping over this because I think this match has the potential to steal the entire show at SummerSlam.
I
Um,
hope so.
and you kind of set it up perfect because now you don't have to tarnish Sami Zayn when you give Braun Breaker that title because I think
Yep.
100% without a shadow of a doubt he's pinning Ilya Dragunov, and he's gonna become the IC champion. Sami Zayn
I
still gets
hope.
to move on to
This
bigger
should
and
be a
better
ladder match,
things.
bro. This should have been a ladder
Yo.
match straight away, old school style fucking SummerSlam ladder match. No
Oh,
TLC bullshit. Fucking just
could
straight up ladder match.
could you imagine Braun throwing a fucking spear into somebody dangling with the belt? Like,
Or spear off the ladder again, the reminiscent of the old Edge one. You know what I'm saying? To
mhm.
Jeff Hardy. Him snapping fucking Sami Zayn in half off the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
Yee.
Like I said, man, I think it's gonna be a great match. I know I said this before and I was wrong, but I think there's no chance in hell, shout out to Vince McMahon, that Braun doesn't win that IC title.
I agree. I didn't have that feeling on the last one, but I do on this one.
Yeah, and the only reason I'm kind of pushing it even more now is because they are running it essentially back. Yeah, you throw Ilya in that match, but like I said, now Sammy doesn't have to take the fall, and you can put that belt on Braun
Yeah, it gives you a
while
clear. Yeah,
still jousting Sammy into that world heavyweight championship picture, possibly where he should
facts.
be in the first place.
I agree.
All right, Brody. It's been about an hour, so let's go ahead and, as usual, throw out some hot takes.
As that's like our old 1, 2, 3 hot take segment.
Brody, since I stole your hot take last week by mistake, I am going to give you the honor and the privilege.
I'm going first.
Yes, sir.
Um. All right, my hot take is that LA Knight does not win the title at SummerSlam.
That's a dog shit take, my guy.
That's where I'm
Dog shit.
going. That's where I'm going.
All right, I'm gonna keep my hot take pretty simple. I've kind of said this a couple times on the show, but I think both men's heavyweight championship titles change hands
Okay.
at SummerSlam. I think, you know, like I
Gotcha.
said, it's the perfect opportunity for them to kind of hit the reset button, figure some shit out, and go from there. Because I feel like everything's been clustered because they're
And it's a little
still trying to
stale at this
find that.
point.
Yeah, and they're still trying to find the direction that they want to go in. So I think with Roman coming back, you have that Roman solo angle already going. It just makes sense. And Damian, I don't want to say he's been a terrible champion because he hasn't
No,
been
man.
that,
It's
but
just
he just hasn't been what you expect on Raw. Going from Seth Rollins to Damian, it's been a huge drop off.
yes, just different level of experience, talent, entertainment, likability, plethora of shit. That I'm
Yeah.
sure Damian Priest will get in time, but
Yes.
just not right now.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he'll get the opportunity to work with Finn in the ring. I think we're gonna see a lot of him and the Judgment Day kind of butting heads even more after he loses the title. So I think, you know, that's going to give him the potential to get a lot more in-ring work, a little bit more mic work, brush some things up,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
should
yeah.
be solid.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, man. I have pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover this week. You know, like we said. Oh, you know what? One thing we did not say, hit up the shop. We got the merchandise. We got some coffee
Absolutely.
mugs, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got dad hats, everything.
Yeah.
And I'll throw
The
the
link
link
the
up.
link to the merch will be in this episode's description. After
Perfect.
we finish the live, just hop back into the episode, give us the view, give us the comment, give us the share, give us the like, but also check out the merch store. The link will be in the description.
Yeah, and like and follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, Heels Forever Pod, um, Machine Gun Kenny on X. He's Brody James on X. Brody, you got anything else for the beautiful people?
No, just shout out to everyone that was watching tonight. My Instagram live had quite a few people tuning in for a while.
Very nice.
The
Thank you, guys.
heels IG had some tune ins. As usual, our people on YouTube and Twitch, and the Heels X always giving the most viewers. The Heels X just jumps off, so
Let's go.
always gives us the most. So yeah, other than that, I'm good, man. I great to be back into season 3. Great to be back into pod form, and that's pretty much it, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping Paul gives us a little bit more content the next couple weeks. You know, we're gearing up to SummerSlam. It should be getting pretty exciting coming up. So cannot wait to share our awful, horrible takes with you guys. But thank you all for listening and stopping by. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God, yeah, he'll a million times to one.